Peter, how are you doing in this pandemic? What sort of what have you learned? What sort of adjustments are you making to make it through?
It's been interesting. I've been kind of slow to adapt, to be honest, because my day-to-day life didn't change immediately like so many people did. I work from home, and I'm used to being in a room like editing for hours at a time by myself.
Right.
So the isolation, it really wasn't until Easter that it kind of, we're 5 weeks in that I'm like, right, I'm not getting together with family. I went on
Okay.
Mother's Day and had a nice little visit with my mom, sat on her neighbor's porch, and she sat on hers in a semi-detached house, and we were able to have a nice conversation. Um,
Oh,
but
sweet. Yeah, I find that it was novel for a while, and it was novelty. It was kind of, oh, this is interesting, disturbing, of course, but and I do want to say that, for me, I'm in a privileged position of having a roof over my head, some income, and food on the table, and haven't been ill. Um, so the challenges are quite minor compared to a lot of people in the world, obviously. But having said that, I think it was about 4 or 5 weeks in, like you say, that I started to feel this. Oh, this is not gonna just be over. It's not kind of a temporary, short term. Oh, that was interesting, and now we'll go back to normal. And they start talking about 18 months to 2 years for a vaccine, and this is not going to go away and all that. That was a bit tough to take. But the one thing that I read, because I was looking at LinkedIn, well, I go to LinkedIn every day and spend about half an hour there, but one article I found there was fascinating. It was written by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's partner, writing partner, professor in the United States. And Kubler-Ross came up with the stages of grief, right? The ones,
right.
the denial, bargaining, etc., where you go to acceptance. And of course, people don't experience them all the same way. But anyway, he wrote this article, and the headline was, "What you're feeling is grief." And I
Yep.
went, oh my God, that is like one day I'm fine. The next day I'm depressed. The next day I'm kind of sad. And the next day I feel despair. And then I feel great. And then I call a friend and we have a laugh and I'm fine. And I was like, I remember when my mom passed and I was like, no, she's not really dead. She'll be back soon. It was like, that's denial. Okay. And then, all the stages. And that really helped me emotionally, that what I was going through had a name. Grieving. I was grieving the
Yeah.
loss of the life we used to have, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because I had it hit me, and I actually made a quick video about it. And I compared it to the short version is I had a cat that passed, and we had a cup beside the couch, and the cat would always wander across my lap and drink from the cup. And I thought I was dealing with the loss okay. And I sat down on the couch and looked over, and the cup wasn't there. And I just lost it. It was like, and I described it as I was sideswiped by grief. And I'm finding that's
Mm,
happening with the pandemic. Like I'm
yeah.
okay, I'm fine, everything's good. And then all of a sudden it'll hit me. And it's like, oh my God.
It's a pandemic.
Yeah.
The other thing, Peter, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I'm okay during the day, but I wake up in the middle of the night or in the morning, I go, oh my God, another nightmare. And they're nightmares of frustration, like I'm trying to pack for a trip but it's impossible because I can't find the suitcase, or all anxiety dreams. But during the day I'm actually okay, and sometimes I have
Yeah.
great laughs with my friends, and I'm really, and I'm busy, like I'm keeping myself busy with work, etc. But then I'm thinking, I wonder if something's being worked out at night in my psyche. It's, yeah,
Yep.
probably. You don't have to
Yep.
be Freud to figure that one out. Are you having any of those
I'm
bad
having
dreams?
very similar ones. I actually had one last week that was very angry.
Mm,
And when I woke up, I had in my dream a political argument with somebody, and I was ashamed of my behavior in my dream. I had just like led into somebody, and it was just like,
mm,
I'm like, where is this anger coming from? Because I don't
mm,
think I'm feeling that during the day, but
mm. What about business? What have you had to do? Any pivoting required in your business? I know that you take videos of people in person in
yeah.
your studio. What's changed for you?
Yeah, it's a part of it has been a massive revamp, and part of it, I've been very lucky. I've had a couple of projects that were solely stuff I would be doing from home anyway. training videos where the video content was software. So I was just making screen grabs. But yeah, all the projects I had lined up for shoots with clients they're on hold indefinitely. And the biggest pivot, to be honest, is the scale in which I'm working now. So I've got a couple of big projects like the training videos, but I'm doing a lot more smaller stuff where I'm doing Zoom training, helping people more effective Zoom training, and then they shoot the promos themselves. So it's kind of the scale in which I work. It's not one or two bigger projects. It's a bunch of smaller projects for small business owners.
Right.
How about yourself? How have you adjusted?
Well, I'm a coach, a small business coach, helping people. Really, what I realized, I'm helping people pivot right now. And I basically moved. I have a couple of clients who insisted on seeing me in person over the years, and a couple of long-term clients who preferred that. And so that stopped, but they were fine with going to either a Zoom or Duo or the telephone, right? So that's worked out fine for me in terms of income. However, what's happening with my clients is they're having to pivot. So I've got a recording studio engineer who owns his own recording studio. He's an expert in voice direction. And of course, he can't have people in the studio to do voice. So we did a quick pivot where he's now he's preparing professional voice actors to be able to broadcast from their home, the home studio, and they've upgraded the home studio. And that's really been great for him. And lastly, a registered massage therapist who had to stop entirely. I mean, his college said it is illegal for you to practice, right? So it was like, uh-oh. And he's pivoting to being an online person who is a source of health support to keep you healthy at home during the pandemic.
That's kind of the heart of it. It was like, hey, what can I do to help? That's kind of where, when I had to do, okay, how do I adjust? How do I pivot? And it's, okay, what can I do to help people? And the solutions kind of come from that question, really.
That's the heart and soul of being in business. It's the heart and soul of marketing, to talk about how you want to help someone and how they'll be helped, right? So that's cool. That's cool. So it sounds like we're doing okay. I'm just curious, I know your background is gorgeous there, and the camera, just so you know, folks, the camera was pointing right at his head at one point. I said, you might want to tilt it down or up. It looked a bit dangerous, but you've got a really nice background. Of course, you're a professional, so you're well lit and everything. Have you been having any fun? I've heard people have these Zoom backgrounds.
I just happen to know people that are very good with special effects.
Oh, really?
So here's my my favorite one.
Oh my God! How's this work? Oh my God! Is that a Thunderbird or oh, it's an Impala.
Impala, and this is something like, I think this is like a 5-minute loop. So it goes around, and the longer it goes, the goat gets sunglasses and a hat. And it's a little bit of silly, but we need a little bit of silly in our lives. A lot of fun.
I know at meetings I've been at, we've banned them because they're so distracting. Like some people want to have, waves crashing on the shore in the Bahamas or something. It's for a business meeting, it's a little distracting, right? Just have a neutral background.
Exactly.
That's my day, folks. Don't have the goat at your next meeting. Your boss may be amused, but don't leave it on.
It's great. Yeah. The family meeting, or if you've got I've been in a couple of business meetings where it turns social at the end, and that's when it's appropriate.
Oh, everybody brings their funny background up. Yeah. That's great. It does weird things to your hair, which I don't have to worry about. But the one thing is what's that called where it doesn't write? It doesn't.
Yeah. It's rendering on the fly. So yeah, you're getting a bit of edge feathering.
Edge feathering. There you go, folks. Yeah. That is the official term for weird hair on the Zoom background. Well, I think we have to wrap up about now. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'm Bruce Harrett, and I help people pivot. Really, I'm a business coach, small business coach, and what I'm doing now is I'm helping people pivot. So be in touch if you'd like to just chat about that. There's no obligation to do that. Peter, what are you doing to help people?
I'm helping people make effective videos, and that includes promos, but a lot of it has been Zoom calls. So there's some stuff you can do to make your Zoom calls more impactful, which is great if you're meeting with potential clients.
Mm-hmm. Great.
I'd love to chat with anybody interested in that.
Till next time, take care.